Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. So today we are going to go over how to erase alcohol markers. Say you make a mistake on your page and you don't know how to fix it. I will show you how to very easily erase it, at least enough for you to be able to put another color down and can't really see that there was anything there in the first place. So we are going to use the Ohuhu art markers, the brush tip ones. It doesn't have to be brush tips. But this is my basically eraser. It's the colorless blender. It is amazing. I never actually use it to blend. I don't know if anybody does. But it is basically a pretty decent eraser for your markers. So I've got some different markers here. I got some different Ohuhus. I got a Copic. And we'll just throw them down on the paper and we'll see how well they erase. So I'm going to start with a bullet tip Ohuhu. It's number 73. It's a darker color. So I'm just going to throw some down here, like so. It's a pretty dark color. Then we can use Hollyhock from the pastel set. So I'm just going to throw some down here. I don't really know if I need to say the colors, but just in case. And then we got a Copic, which is a royal blue. So we'll just throw this down here, like so, and we'll just see how well they erase. I also have a book out that we can test in a minute. So grab your blender. And make sure when you do this, I made the same mistake yesterday. When you do this, make sure you have at least 2 pieces of paper underneath your page, because you have to scrub a little bit and it gets really wet and it bleeds through the paper to the other side. So make sure you move your paper around underneath and also have probably more than one piece under there. So I'm gonna grab my blender and I am going to just start lifting this, and it will spread a little bit, but it does work pretty good. And I know a lot of people probably already know this, but I know when I first started markering I would have found this very useful. So I figured I'd just make a quick video on it, just in case you didn't know. And it'll be good enough to be able to put something else on top of it without it looking all wonky. I did it yesterday in a video. Let's see, so you can kind of let that dry a little bit and then we can go back over it again. But it's pretty good. That was a very dark color. Let's see, let me just clean the tip off here. Let's go on to the Ohuhu pastel. Let's see, and just scrub. I'm not moving my paper around underneath because I have like several. I don't think it'll go through all of them. But in a book, you can only fit so many before it becomes weird and stacky. So just make sure you move it around. I learned that too yesterday. So, and then you can go over with something else after. Let's try the Copic. That pink, you can barely even see it anymore. See, that's still wet. So let's just clean the tip a little bit. and let's try and see how it works on the Copics. I could have used a Copic blender, but oh well, it works pretty alright. Like so. It's working pretty good. Let's see, let me just turn my paper a little bit. And then just scrub, 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 scrub. Okay. Like so. And it is good enough to put something else over it. It takes a minute for it to dry. So yeah, and see, totally goes through onto the other side. So make sure y'all are careful. See here, goes through several. So it is good to move it around because it's so wet that it goes through. I can even see a little bit of shadow of it on this piece of paper down here. So make sure you either move your paper around every few seconds or, you know, have several underneath, but it works really well. It's kind of like you're pushing it through to the other side. Let's see. So I think I'm just gonna wait until this is dry because apparently it's taking a minute. Definitely. So I will be back when this is dry, and then we will go over with something else and see how well it covers up. Alright, so this is all dry, and you can, like, compared to what it was, you can barely see that it's there. So you could go over with lighter colors, and it should look alright. Let me just zoom in a little so we can see better. I'm so sorry about the glare. Let's see. Let's just get a lighter color. Let's get this pink and just go over this part here, and you can see it shows up really well, and it's definitely a lot lighter than the other color. And we could, let's see, do I have like a different purple here? Let's use lavender mist over the really dark purple, and we'll see how that goes. And it does really well, and you can see a little bit, but not a whole lot, not really. And then let's grab a lighter blue. Let's grab the Robin's Egg blue to go over that Copic color, and that works pretty well too. So you could, and you could go over with different colors too. It might blend a little, but it's not bad. So I think we'll probably just grab a coloring book. I've got one right here at the ready. Alright, so I got this book out. It's Autumn by Jade Summer. And let's just pick a page. Let's do here. Let's do some here. And put my pieces of paper underneath. I got 3, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just because I know I'm going to do a lot of scrubbing. So, let's say you want a blue background on this page here. So let's just start there. So you can, you know, you go in with your blue and you start coloring. Like so, and then you think, oh, this is way darker than I wanted it. And hopefully, you know, you think that and you stop coloring right away. Then you're like, uh-oh, because you wanted you know, a lighter blue. So then you can grab your blender and just start scrubbing and trying to lift this. This is a bigger area, so it might take a minute. Should come off. Let's see, I'm going to use this as like I'm just kind of cleaning the tip. It does take a minute. And kind of just scrub away. Let me see, it just kind of goes straight through. And let me just move this up a little, just to make sure that the spot underneath kind of moves around a little. Scrub away. Like I said, it can take a minute. And I'm cleaning my, my brush tip in between every once in a while, just to get some of that pigment off, or dye. It's not really pigment, it's more dye, I think. Let's see. And you'll probably still be able to see, some blue. Like this. Further up. But it'll be enough for you to be able to put that lighter color down. So that's what I figured I'd just show it in an actual coloring book. So you could use the chisel tip too. I never really used that one. Okay, so here, clean off my tip a little. And just don't press very hard, because paper's pretty thin and you don't want to tear it, of course. Move this up a little bit more. Get this here as well, because it's kind of, it bleeds, the wetter it gets, the more it bleeds. And the more you work on it, the more it'll come off. And you could also let it dry in between a little, because it gets, really, really wet. So I was just blowing on it. Let's see. And let's get this over here. And let's get some more of this. Let's get up in the corner. I'm so sorry about the squeaky noise, but it does make squeaky noises. Clean off this tip. Could try a little bit with a chisel tip, but basically, all it takes is some patience. Since it is dye, it won't completely come off, but like I said, enough for you to be able to do something else. going through. Let's just move it up a little bit more. It's almost a little bit like a tie-dye effect. Let's get this up here. The stuff up over the frame doesn't really bother me, but I'm sure it probably bothers some people. Okay, so I think maybe let's just grab that brush tip again. Some colors, of course, stain more than others. Like the darker colors, you will see more, you know, left on the paper after. But this is actually pretty decent. I know it looks kind of rough right now, but it has to dry. So I'm gonna let it dry, and then I will be back, and then we will see if we can't put something else on top of it, you know, in an actual book. Alright, so this is now pretty dry, and we can go back over it with a robin's egg blue, and it's very pale compared to what it was. So let's just go over it with the robin's egg blue. I'm so sorry about the squeaking. I think I may have to refill this one. Yeah, I probably should have picked something else, but oh well. Today apparently is not my day either. Okay, let's try the chisel tip, because this is... Oh, that's not working either. Okay, hang on. One day I'm gonna get myself together. Let's see. Okay, so you could go over like so. And this is, and it's looking like this because it's dry. Hang on, let me find something else. Okay, let's try the process blue maybe. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay, this is way better. So sorry about the squeaking. I'm not sure why it is. Okay, so let's just kind of keep going a little. And this might be a little bit darker than the robin's egg blue, but it's still paler than the one we used. So, and you can't really see that there was ever anything underneath. So, it does work pretty good. You can use a lighter color, or you can use a, you know, slightly darker color. You know, it may, you know, if you wanted to go over this, the erased part with yellow, it may turn a little bit green. But if you're like me, you're more likely to just grab a, you know, the wrong shade of color. In which case this would work perfectly. So yeah, that is it. You know, you can also use this blender for highlights. If you don't have a white gel pen, you can just lift, you know, some in the middle, and you know, it will spread. Sometimes it's even better to use maybe like a bullet tip. That's what I usually use. I just don't have one in front of me right now. But yeah, that kind of lifts a little, if you can see. It also creates a little bit of a highlight. but you know, it will spread and bleed because that's what alcohol markers do. But yeah, I think it, you know, I tried to explain this as good as well as I could, really. I'm not the best at explaining things, so, but hopefully you got the gist of it, and I hope it was helpful to some of you. So yeah, that is it for this video. It took a little bit longer than I expected, but oh well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Toodaloo.